Oh, did he up? He upload. Okay, I get it. I was trying to figure out what somebody was saying something. I didn't know he upload. Oh no, you were there. He should actually upload that soon. Yeah, I have the finished copy. Hee. Or the finished copy of it. Oh, New Year's fun. I think this is something. There it is. Okay. And happy Friday. How is everybody on this wonderful Friday? Might have to take a bathroom break some point and drinking the coffee way too fast. So I am back to working on this shot again. I haven't actually touched it since Tuesday, so this is exactly how we left it. Did Jay upload that video? I know he was working on it. No, apparently he did. Okay. I helped Holler with the video. So we were kind of working on this and trying to figure out the best way to utilize or how to make that cloud thing. Okay, let me turn off I want to disable some of these lights so that I can run it at a pretty good pace. It's a little better. Even then, it's still running like crap. There's just so much stuff on the ground. I have to hide all the buildings because I just care about the lighting. That that's better. Okay, so this is kind of working. I just need to play with these lights a bit more. So I have some. Yeah, this may look good now, but it's nowhere near what I want to have as a final. So I need to make sure, because right now these lights are flickering in and out, like some of these back ones here. So like right there, which light is that? This one, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. So let's grab that and I did my part. I tried my best. The things I'm fighting to it's gonna be hard to get these numbers to match up. That was actually easier than I thought. Oh no, I still got them not showing here. Because I gotta make sure that I'm only hitting the one layer of clouds. Okay, now I got some more that aren't showing here. Oh, if I do the max there. I'm still not getting one. Is this min? This is Extreme Music. Bring Me Back to Life. It's a really good song. I got addicted to it. so I still got one cloud here. I'll make sure I'm not trying to light a texture that doesn't actually need to be lit. This one I do. There's the limit. I still have one doing it. Rah! This is how close of an area I have to work in. There's gotta be a better way to figure out the position for this. Well, if these are all in a perfect circle, it means that I just have to go until all the lights come on at one time. Or at least close to. You know what? No, the other way might... Another way to do this that might work better. And I'm trying to do it the way I'm doing it because... I said that you shouldn't have to do complex things that somebody make for the content you make to be good. I mean, you don't have to... Like, right now, I'm trying to position a specific lights to hit small little ranges just to light up a cloud on the edges. Does that something you need to do? No. You don't even need to have clouds. You could throw a texture in the background. You don't have to do, like, for instance, on this one, like, I went in through all those clouds in the background to do that. Do you need to do that? No, you could have just thrown texture in there. There's various levels of complexity that you can utilize, and it doesn't mean that the only way to make good content is to go as high as possible on the detail scale. No, you can you can just use a pre-made map with pre-made lighting without doing any of your own lighting. That's kind of what I mean by it. Is I know some people, when they watch this, they're like, well, that looks really complicated. I'm like, well, yeah, the way I'm doing it is complicated. It doesn't mean that that's the only way to do things, though. It doesn't mean that that's the only way to make something good. Yeah, the standard for quality has kind of changed over time, but it doesn't mean that that should stop you from getting up there, from making anything. So that's kind of what I mean, anyway. There's a lot of people say something. Yeah, if you have a question, type the name, because it's much easier for me to see it. Because I see it like this, then. Oh, not like that. Like this. You don't have to put the @ symbol. Like just like that. That matters. It can tell. But it really comes in handy, because otherwise if people have a conversation, I don't have to read every word. Otherwise, I fall behind. How modded is your SFM? Modded? Not at all. The only thing I have is a couple scripts that do reloading or a realistic fog, but that's more of conveniences. I mean, reload all materials is just the same as going in your console and typing mat reload. Yep, come on. Reload all materials. That. All that button does is just simulate that. I mean, in terms of mod, that's it. I really don't, and that's just a script. So I don't use mods. All I have is just a crap load of stuff. downloaded. That's all publicly available. I mean, everything that I'm using right now to do everything is available for anybody to download. It's just all over on different sources and different places, and finding it all is not going to be easy. And my library's just been building over time. You can use the add symbol. I'm just saying some people think you have to. I mean, I think that's just because like you can right click it or something. Alright, so what kind of cutoff do I need here? That is way too far. Should not need to go that high. Oh, that's why. Oh, the fall string really comes in handy. There we go. Now I can see. This will be harder than I thought. Well, kind of. It's still just at the edges, and that's all I really care about. Only problem I'm gonna have is the dragons that are gonna be there, but I think I'm really not gonna be too worried about that. Oops, so now I copied these two. I went deleted it. Okay, so this one's gonna hit the higher up cloud. Right, I'm just gonna do cut on for that then. Oh, the last stream is, I just forgot to upload it. I went the other day to make it public, and then I realized I couldn't. So I have to play around with that. And the one before that, the only way to make it public, because it's blocked in a lot of countries because the audio thing, is I have to mute a part of the stream. So I don't know if I'm going to get around to that. A lot of the streams when I upload them are just straight. It puts it in MP4. I just upload it straight from the recording. It's really a huge hassle if I have to do anything with it, because I have to bring it into another program. I have to it's really not that whatever. I have to bring in another program. I have to do edits on it, and then I have to recompile it, which for all that big of a stream can take a long time. So a lot of the times when I have issues like that, I'm just like, well, that stream's gone, because it'll sometimes take 4 to 5 hours to compile it. I think that should work as it is. I'm going to do that one. I think I'm going to make this one. Oh, that might have been a bad idea to open. Oh, there are certain, like, I do have somewhat electronica ones in here. It tends to be that I put songs on here that are, yeah, I guess inspirational is, I guess, the best word for it. Just those songs that really make you motivated to do things. Doesn't really matter what it is. Whether it's to give you the energy to do something or to bring out some kind of emotion that was deep and hidden within you or something. I don't know, that sounded really fucking corny. Okay, this one is going to be difficult. Oh, there we go. Okay, not as difficult as I thought. Wait, is that last layer not even... Oh, that's the light. This is what I want. Nope. This is what I want. It's not even that far below. Oh, no, I guess it is. It's far enough below. Okay. I need to try to find a balance so that I can hit as little of the other ones as possible. I think I'm gonna have to turn it down here. Well, actually, I might have to just do with how it is. Okay. I'm turning it a gummy. I don't know if that's a positive thing or not. Well, I'm just catching up. There's a lot of people asking stuff. I was wondering how long it take you to make, if you want to make a message version of the low life for a princess animation. How long would that take? A lot of it isn't that difficult. The reason that was a lot of it was difficult is because it was all custom made scenes in animation, all by hand. That's a lot for one person. But when you have pre-made models and stuff, it still would take a while if you want to try to go into what you consider to be the equal level of detail with a lot of the custom stuff. But the fight scenes and some of this in the areas that they're sitting in are the only thing that would take a while. Animation-wise, it'd actually be pretty simple, but the rest of it would be hard, and the models probably wouldn't even be able to get into the positions. A lot of those would be... It'd be a lot of prep. It'd probably be more than half of it being prep work, building up to it. So, but I don't think that I would never do anything like that, just because it's remaking stuff outside of the fandom is, you know, to a degree works, but when you're already taking something that somebody did that was a pony thing and then just moving it to another medium seems like it seems cheap. So I would never do anything like that. Closest I got to doing something like that was the Luna's Banishment, but I took the basis of the video and then completely changed it. So, but just recreating it in 3D, I don't know. I think that there's so many other things that would be better to recreate if you had the time. Okay, this one, I want to slow down even more. I mean, this is already slowed down to much slower than the rest. But I want to slow down even more. I did it backwards, damn it. These two are the ones I want to do. For some reason I keep thinking number 1 is the inside one, and it's the outside one. Essentially, I want to make it so that the outside one is barely moving. Okay, there's a light that is not hitting. Which one is this again? Okay, I need to rename these. So this is going to be this is the outer ring. I wasn't originally planning to utilize the one that I've already made here, but I kind of decided that it would still work as a base, so I'll just do it. Okay, this is the inner ring light. Do these have shadows? No, good. That's actually one habit, like when I people's like tips to remember. Organize your crap. When you start getting like if I go back to some of my old videos, it's just one giant folder with everything in it. Oh my, I have a headache when I go back there now. I make sure that as I'm making things, I put them in folders and I keep things organized. It's a kind of an annoying thing where you think this takes too much time. Why do I have to do that? It's worth it. Do it. Where do you get the lighting? The lighting. I mean, the lighting is just lights. I mean, there's nothing special about them. It's just what I'm loading up. Okay, so then I want to get the outer ring light. Now that I can just click it and instantly figure it out. I want to make sure that I'm getting all of it, because one of them. Still flickering in and out. It doesn't seem important, like, oh, that's a small flicker. It makes a difference. And actually, there's some that are still not even being. No, that's probably just the light hitting them. Yeah, it's just outside the light range. Which actually reminds me, I want to do. We're gonna just go closer. We're just gonna back up and zoom in a bit more. Because right now I got layers, but I don't have anything. I think this is going to be messy to do, but I'm going to see if it works. It's probably going to be the easiest way to do it. What are tips for some good lighting? Most of the times I find my scenes too dark, so I use lighting to make them brighter. Well, yeah, that's kind of the point of lights. I tend to do, if you're using pre-made maps, it's going to be, you're going to already kind of have some basis for lighting, but I use everything from the void, or I try not to use pre-made maps. I like making my own in scene builds and stuff, because I find it fun. But in terms of lighting, it's hard because every scene is different. If it's a dark scene, or if it's a light scene, if it's daytime, evening, everything's going to be different. But normally, you got to think about where your light's coming from, and that your main source of light. Because, so like, if you have a sun coming from, and I can kind of, I guess, show it. Or like, I guess I can use this as an example. So like when I originally did this, and this isn't final lighting really, I kind of have some stuff I want to change with Rainbow, is nighttime. And with nighttime, a lot of times you're thinking, well, nighttime is dark, so we got to make everything dark. If you did, nobody'd see anything. Usually the best thing to do is just utilize blue lights, which makes Rainbow a little harder to work with because she's already blue. But blue, you already kind of construe as night because of like moonlight and everything. So if you're gonna, any of the lights you do, it's gonna be usually sharp lighting with that are blue. So like here, I left I put a brighter light here. So like normally I'd have a main light, which I think is this one. Oh, actually, what is my main light? I don't think I have one for this one. I think I just kind of utilized everything at once. I swear I had one though. Nope, I didn't. But normally I'd have like one light that's coming from your main direction, which is in this case this. So this is kind of showing you where the light's coming from, and everything in the map has to try to at least show that the light's coming from that way. So in this case, this is the one light to show that. I usually put another light on the opposite side that just kind of covers the edges a little bit. That's what this is doing, because it helps give a cartoony look, and it also helps pull it away, because if I just kept it without that, especially with a dark background, you wouldn't be able to see where she starts and ends. So the light's just there to kind of like create a bit of a rim on the edge to just kind of pull her away. And then just like in here, all I have other than that is just like the ambient light here. But since it's nighttime, I keep that low. But if it was daytime, I would you have a light coming from larger amounts of direction, so the ambient light would actually be pretty bright, and these rims would be, I mean, have the ambient be something like that instead, so that these edges and stuff are there, but not really, they don't really stand out. But again, it's hard to say, because like in general I make 4 lights. So I have the 2 kind of rim lights, one on the main side and one on the off side. I have another light that would usually would help distinguish which side the light's coming from. In this case, that's kind of merged out with the rim, and then just an ambient just to fill in the gap. But everything's different. But even in here, since the light, I have technically the because technically I have that the sunrise thing over here. I built it to be with her at night, and then I went and added a couple lights to add in the sun coming from the other direction. So that's how I got that. But again, it's so hard to say, because it's like it's so situational, and a lot of it is look at pictures or watch other movies. Actually, I haven't linked it for a while, so I should probably do that. Flooby Dooby. This is a very, very useful thing that talks about the Incredibles. But the movie was a very, very good example of utilizing lighting and cinematography. And this article goes over through multiple pages, talks about the cinematography, how to utilize lighting, and how the movie does it, so that you can not just see what to do, but see actual examples that something or a professional studio has used, so that you can figure out how to use it yourself. So if you haven't read this before, I still recommend reading that. I've read through the whole thing, and it is super useful. Super useful. Flobby Nobby, I don't know. It's Floopy Newbie, right? Yeah, Floopy Newbie. Well, The Incredibles was a good movie, but usually when you think of that, you're thinking about writing and entertainment. But if you really delve into it, they did an amazing job with that stuff. And I really never even thought about it until I read through that, and you realize, yes, they did. And they like to use an example mainly because, especially with this, with pony stuff, you're utilizing everything kind of in a cartoonish way, and that movie did too. So at least it's a better reference point than some other things. It's gonna have some kind of a light linking everything together here. And even so, the inner ring should probably be brighter than the outer ring. So I'm gonna dumb down the outer ring to like, let's see, that. Middle ring's gonna be to that. Okay, now I was going to do that one thing I was thinking of doing. Love the irony of that statement. Oh, I think I'm hitting some stuff here with those lights. Okay, so the outer ring needs to have its minimum brought up. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take the middle ring here. I'm going to take, I think, oh, these go every other, oh, this is going to be a little more difficult than I thought. Because I need to find every other cloud. Okay, so because these were copied, so these are opposites. So those are those four, so that's fine. And these four are going to be that. So bet you if I just delete these, yes, that would be inner space. All right. And now I need to grab the scales. Because I have a lot of small light clouds, but I need to still have some kind of larger clouds that are kind of encompassing everything in a way. And I'm hoping that these will do it. I deleted the actual links, didn't I? Actually. These are just those. I don't think they're scaled anymore, though. No. Okay, so that's bigger. And I can't really move them because of how things are done. Okay. Should have done the inner ones. Where's my stretch? So it is still locked to that range. So this is still one loop. Seems really big for one loop. That makes sense. I want to play with it a bit, so I'm trying to shrink it back down to a more manageable size. Which just looks like less than a loop. Tell where it moves. Okay. The reason I did that is I need to figure out, or I need to get this thing turned more towards the camera. Oh yeah, the Good Girl stuff I do, but I was actually listening to the song on quite a bit earlier. I have it, I mean, there really wasn't much for animation to it. All I really had done with that video was like some of the lip syncing, and that was about it. This part, we're just going to a bit more. The reason I'm doing this is because the clouds are two-dimensional. So I have to turn the clouds to maintain them in the shot. Okay. Nice thing about this is I can play with these a little bit more than I could the other ones now. Okay. It's hard because I can't. These clouds only work when they're in a mass. So when I have a large amount of them, if I have any that are on the way below it, no, it doesn't work. It's supposed to be that there was a, I'm calling it a cyclone, but really it's more like a maelstrom in the sky. It's supposed to be like not really like a tornado or anything, just that it's like a hole that's in the sky. So that's kind of what, at least that's what is implied. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Okay. And actually, I could play with these a bit more, but I would destroy it. So, I want to, because right now everything's kind of looking the same for how the clouds are. I probably should have actually turned these around so they're opposite, so at least it got a little bit different. Because right now it's the same little parts of the cloud and the inside. Well, I guess I could just do that here. So, no, I can't actually do that. Oh wait, no, maybe I can. Nope, it does destroy it if I do that. Even with offset. Because I want to make sure. Well, I wonder if. I think this actually might work pretty good too. So I'm going to take this cloud I have. There was an easy way to make it go out of the circle. I think that was just taking this, moving it out, yeah. Okay. So that'll spin in a farther circle, which is great. So we're gonna keep that. I am now going to, actually, you know what? We're going to first actually zero this. I want to have everything reset to 0. I'm then going to pull it out. How big are these right now? This is one I want to have probably just above the other layer. And for now, I'm going to keep this one in closer. Put it right here. Actually, I think it was better to start further out and then put away its way in. So we're gonna go out to here. Okay. Oops, actually this is, I had that wrong. I wanted to have it be there. Okay. Now this, I need to have it turned in just a little bit. Have this part turned. It's not really that visible right now, but it'll matter later. Turn out a little bit. You want to hit that button. I can worry with the rest of it. Okay, now I need to make this much bigger. Bam. Actually, I think I will do it. And in between. So in between would be right here, or at least close enough to it. To make this easier, I'm going to remap this to be a bit bigger. just hit my sky card in general. There we go. Right. The nice thing is this is actually pretty dark. Take these, and then I want to slow it down so much that that's why I'm doing that. I want to make sure I don't lose. And that's not breaking them, is it? Seems like it is. Oh, actually it's not. Looks like it though. Really see the backside. Is it because it's clipping? Because it's clipping. Did I make them too big? I don't think I can move the sky card any further away. Not really. It's too big. I can't really move this any further away. I don't need it to be that big anyway. Oh, actually I can't do it like that. I have to get my repeat back. Now I can do it. So I need to make sure that I'm not clipping. Ooh, that'll be tough. It's like here. Because if I do any clipping, it's gonna ruin the illusion that that sky is not actually there. So that's clipping right there still. Put this slice of that. There it doesn't. Okay, we'll do that. To me, this Maelstrom thing is probably one of the more important parts that I decided to add. So that's why I'm trying to ensure that it looks right. so hard to test visuals on. You have stuff moving and it's so much like this. Or else you can't go to a movie. Don't you have papers to write? These are redone, so these can be tossed. So after 66, this is good. Well, go write. You still gotta write papers. You're not done. Go write me a paper. Go write me a 15-page paper on how to write a paper. I think I need to put in some dragons now. Getting the positioning here is going to be difficult because technically the city hole is here. That just makes it look like it's over it. That's too blurred to even see the dragons. That's not going to work because, oh, well, actually there's enough lighting. Good. Actually, even though they're blurred, it's okay. No, like I said, usually if it doesn't have my name, I don't read it. Because otherwise there's just too much. I'd be reading chat while making the stream boring. Oh, no, I haven't read any of those chats yet. I didn't even have my computer on yesterday. I might almost call this shot good for now, just because I'm feeling that I have this because a lot of what I wanted to do right now, at least, was I wanted to figure out the main structure for everything, so that I didn't, if I was going to do the other shots around it, I'm not feeling like I'm wasting my time because something's going to change and we change this one to change that one and then they fight each other. I wanted to get one set and then build the other ones that are in the same area around that one shot so that they were all similar. I feel like at least I've gotten to that point, so I probably should focus on anything that wouldn't. So I'm gonna just advance this a bit more because like the dragons technically aren't needed for that. Okay, I feel like the night ambience in the background here is too bright. That one's probably okay. This one. Is it this one? No. What is this one even doing? Oh, it's the additional one for the front. Alright. Ah, yes, it's this one. Because I think this is the one I hit it with constant. Yeah. Let's see here. I think that might almost work better. Black is not good. Those two is okay. What are the best color lights for a night scene? Moonlit forest. Always blue. Actually, the best color to probably use is similar to what Rainbow's color is. And for any type of light you're going to be using, it's going to be like if you're trying to make it magical, you might want to play with the color a little bit. But normally, blue is like if you did color tests with your eye, the eye has a difficult time trying to differentiate blue and black, and so that's why blue works well. That and because moonlight is normally assumed to be blue, so it gives a feeling of night kind of feel. So well, sometimes you might feel that it's too lit for night. It doesn't matter. If you actually watch movies that are done at night where even people can't see, unless they're actually completely blacking out the shot, it's almost always way more lit than you think about it. The main thing is to have dark shadows and to not have a bright ambience. So that's why I kind of brought it before with Rainbow here. If I turn it off, it might be a little too much, but is to have these darker areas here. Here it doesn't work because and I did probably want to dumb down all the lights a little bit here, but you still have to make it balanced. There has to be light bouncing around, so you shouldn't have anything pure black. But you're going to have your lights that are coming from the main sources of light will be brighter compared to the ambience of ambient lights than if it was daytime and you have light that's coming from everywhere, where it's going to be more balanced. Because at night you want harsher shadows and contrast compared to day, and try to make all your lights bluish. So, but like here, it's supposed to be like a sun is rising in this over on the corner. So because of that, you have to think about it as how would colors mix like rainbow wise. So that's why normally a night sky would be blue, but the sunrise would be like a reddish orange, so the in between would be purple. That's why I actually have a purple expansive light that acts as an in between. Otherwise you get it like this, where this doesn't look like a sunrise, it looks like a fire, and I don't want that. I actually want a nice gentle bit, so I put purple in there. I have green in the sky and another one to help blend it up too. Just gonna dump her lights down a little bit. She has one really strong light hitting her. Is that the rim from the rock? No. Because I was pretty sure that the rim light wasn't giving enough to light her. Yeah, because right here I don't see it. Yeah, that's kind of almost that light. Is that the shadow light? Apparently it is. Actually, that kind of looks cool in itself. I wonder if I can get away with that. The main thing I have to worry about here is if people have darker monitors, they might not be able to see everything as easily, or if it's too lit, so I can't go too low in brightness, and I have to utilize a different shot, and the lighting has to match between them, so she has to be brighter here than normal just to make sure that that kind of matches, I guess. Because otherwise I'm going to show her face on another shot, but to make the lighting match here, I'd have to make it way too dark in the other one. But from this distance, that light's not going to be showing on her at all. Can I make this rim sharper? She's just way too happy for this. Actually, she is kind of happy at this part, so... Everybody's dying, yay! Soft white light. Yeah, blues and purples. Just stay away from you can go with cool colors, not with hot colors. So stay away from your reds, your yellows, and your oranges, unless you have like a fire going or something. But like I kind of did here is if you have like a light from like a fire coming from something, build your whole scene to make it look good at night, like in blackness, and so that everything looks like it was just being hit by like a moon. Then go and add on the extra lights to make it for the sun. So like here, I built it first like this so that I had what rainbow would look like at night. And then I added on the other one, mainly because if you add in like an orange light or something, you want to kind of mix it with the blue so that so that you get the little bit of both, and it because you shouldn't have just one light source and then another light source. It should be both. So, but it's easier just to work with the largest source first and then work your way down. You know what the issue with this texture is? Still working on that, aren't you? In the texture, or not the texture, in the particle, I don't know how many particles on this one. Because it's probably a texture that has a sequence to it, and it's not utilizing it. I think it's like sequence random under initializer. Yeah, look for sequence random, and then I had a sequence random on here. Good way sequence random. I got rid of all of them. Oh, this is one. Okay. And make sure that the min and max are the amount of different textures that are on there. Or just put it to a decent number. It's work your way around. See if that should fix it. That should fix it. It's basically saying that instead of having multiple textures loaded up for the same particle, is to have multiple different textures within the same thing and have it sequenced so that it just chooses a part of it. I'm not sure how it determines that or how to make them, but there are a couple that are like that. Let's see if that'll fix it. The only thing that this shot needs that I see is just more detail around the hole and more detail around rainbow. Probably to add some kind of a fabric or something that is blowing in the wind. Because I feel like if you have just a pony that shows wind with the hair, it feels like they are like alone in the universe, and there should be something around them that shows that their environment's interacting with them. And plus they're going to be shooting down stuff. I'm just not too worried about that part right now. Let me load up the reference video. Okay, those two are going to be tied together, and this is the shot that that's supposed to represent. So that means I have to start here, not here. So here. Because right here he does turn around, so this would be looking away. So I can actually have it looking kind of into the sunset here parts, so that's fine. Okay, let's see here. We're gonna copy this and put it here. And we're going to not zoom in. A clip. We're gonna go. Okay. I can't type. She at getting up. That. I'll make sure that that's not the only one off. Okay. If everything shifted, I didn't want to have everything off the or off on timing. Okay. Fixed again. This is going to be fun to try to fit and make work. Alright, I want to utilize the same lights in this, and I have to use the rocks in the same way. So I'm going to take... Okay, so there's no dragons in this shot. There's no cloud cyclone. No muffin cloud. I forgot about that. There's no crater. There will be the skybox. The concrete will stay. Buildings are going to stay just in a different way. Are any of the buildings moving? No. Good. Don't need the crater lights. Don't need the skylights. Might as well get rid of the things that are going to be eating up processing right away. Make it a little easier to run. Oh yeah, already better. No, it does not. The sky card currently has 0 lighting on it. It is being lit by a whole crap load of lights. There. That is with 0 lights. There's a couple of the lights hitting it, but on here. So what it is there's 2 blue lights. There's the main blue light, that's the cover of the majority of the sky. Then I had another one down here because that was a very dark corner, so it's a much brighter light just to light it up. You can kind of see what I mean here. So I wanted to balance the lighting on it, so that's what that one's for. And then for the sun, I needed to have... this is the blending light, but I'll get to that in a sec. That has shadows. No, it was some other values I was playing with. That's what it looks like it. So I had the central, like, so the brighter center of the sun. Then an expansive one because I wanted the sun to kind of expand down the horizon. Then from the orange, it had a red that expanded from there. So this is just a little bit more light that's just expanding from there. And then the purple to help it blend with the blue. So, and you get this. I don't think I need radius on those. No. So you get that, and then I utilized the some volumetric lights. One, the large I think is just covering a large area, so just kind of give a haze for the whole thing, and then the edge was one that was shadowed just going over the crest here, so that it looked like the light coming over the city. And then together, they helped blend together to make that. Yes. Still doesn't fix it. What's the value it had there? Oh, it's, okay, it's at 0. Because I know I had a similar issue with some of those. Because a lot of those I pull, but like, I'm trying to remember, because some of those like are built to do sequences, but they don't always work well for sequences, or there's something else you have to do. That's why a lot of times I take particle effects from other things Valve has done and I just modify them, because there's a lot of like internal values or something, or some other settings that they might have played with to make things work that I don't know about, and so it just doesn't work. So I'm not sure, because that's about 9/10 of all the particle effects I do not make from scratch. I go and take something they made. Even the lens flare one I had was technically taking their textures and taking the examples from particle effects they made and then morphing it into something that worked different. So I'm not sure, but I have ran into the same issue you've had, but I can't remember if I solved it or just gave up. Wait a second. Where's the sky moving? I don't know if it was meant to. Whatever, I'll leave it for now. If I notice it the render being a problem, I'll fix it. Alright, so we're going to take Rainbow. So actor, concrete, focused around Rainbow. I'm going to turn it around. So she's going to be standing up from a seat and churning. So maybe like this. She's got to be like... I'll do like this. I think I'm going to put her face partially in the shot, not have her fully turn. Because otherwise it feels like we'll lose some of the emotion bits of it. How many hours does Steam say I have an SFM? 6,130. I'm not sure if it's it has the other Leaf one I have has that, but there's lots of settings within the main one in all the different files that can be different. I'm not sure the specifics on it, so, and it's all instanced, so I can't even really save it or export it. If there might be a value in the main thing, I don't know what's doing it, and sometimes just copy pasting the values isn't gonna do much either. Like I said, sometimes some things are just annoying. What is this? Unlocked. really bother me how happy she is here. Damn it, Rainbow. Stop being so happy. There we go. That's a better rainbow. Okay, so this is at a higher angle. Oh, but the camera comes up. Okay, it comes up from below. So, because I was wondering, like, wait, it doesn't have the ground behind it. It should have the horizon, so it does have that. All right, good. Camera trickery, or animation trickery. It depends on what we made trickery. Like, there's always a thing of only what's on the camera or what the camera sees matters. So you don't have to animate something if you can't see it. That's why planning a shot works best. There's shots many times where it's only from here up and the legs underneath are just moving stiffly because I don't care. Or they're not perfect because it doesn't matter. But is there a specific situation that you're thinking about? Don't want to move everything. I can copy from the other shot, I guess. I don't want to move everything super close and then like have to change it again for next shot where I have to have a horizon. I can't remember what the rocks are from. I think Portal. So I can have a higher aperture on this one. These buildings should probably not be that small. Otherwise they're going to actually lose perspective. Nice thing is I don't actually need this large city, so let's get rid of a lot of these. Hopefully that selected all of them. No, it didn't. So I can't. Let's see if this works. It doesn't. Wonderful. If you can't select the whole thing, you can't delete the whole thing. Can't even copy them either. I don't know why it does that. I wish there was a way to, like, say select all. Is there something like that? It's the only way I know how, and that doesn't like to behave. And then it does that too. Because I don't need the vast majority of these. You know what? I got a better idea. We're just going to take... If it can work one way, do it the other way. This might actually be a pretty difficult shot to do because I had to put way more detail into it than I normally would need to with some of the distance I've been working with. Still don't need a lot of these. Yes, you can do the different maps. I actually have a whole video tutorial on it on my channel on YouTube. It's not difficult to do, but it does make working on your video a little more difficult. Because you only can have one map loaded at a time. So, because the maps, how the maps work is that you have your main map, which is... where is this under active clip? It's under active clip. Yeah. So under active clip, that map name is like a the map that covers everything. So if you have anything in that spot, it means that the entire file is under that map. If there is nothing in that spot, it defaults to a per shot map instead. So if you do it, you have to make sure that you then specify a map for every single shot. So if you right click it and go to show an element viewer, you get the same thing here, map name, scene build, huge void. If it doesn't find the main one, it'll go to that. If it's not there, it won't know what map to do, and it will just say unable to load map or something like that. Any file that, so when you go to a shot that is supposed to have that map, it'll load fine. But if you go to a shot that doesn't have that map, it'll come up with an error. You'll still see some of the stuff, but it's not going to look right, or there's going to be like bad lighting or something weird. And if you go and do the right-click unload map and then load map, it will set it to the default for the main file. So that means that every time after that, when you're doing that, if you want to change maps, you actually have to go into your console and type change level and the name of the map, which is kind of a hassle. But normally you're only working in 1 or 2 shots at a time. It's not that bad. Just write down what it is that you have for your map names. So if you forget, just right-click the one that you're working on, grab it from here and just copy it. Well, when you're working on stuff that's difficult, because you think, well, you only can see one map at a time, when you go to render, when it gets to a shot with a different map, it will unload the last map, reload the new map, and then render it. So it will do it on its own, which is super convenient. But it does make working on it more difficult, but it's way easier than having whole separate files for everything. Especially if you're having to jump around a lot. That's actually why I like doing scene builds in Huge Void, because I don't have to do that. It's all on the same map. It's one of the benefits of it anyway. Hey, make it doesn't look so fluid. And move every limb frame until you get a fluid motion you want. That's probably the most common question I'm asked. It's hard to say because fluid it's all dependent on making things realistic to that situation. So like how to make something fluid for one thing, it might not work for another. The main thing is, and I've showed this quite a few times before, but I will show it again because it's the best example I have. Is these? Because like how I would normally do it is that it would be keyframed, so like I pick all the points that are important. So, and what I mean by important is interactions with other objects or stuff that is, I want to make sure that it looks like this at this time. So for this shot, every time the leg changed position, so this leg lifted, then it went down. So I wanted to make sure that I had it at its down point. Then this back leg lifted, this leg lifted, now that one's down, which technically means at one point both legs are off the ground. But what do you do? So it was just positioning things in certain to make sure that I got the legs done right. So moving the legs is the hardest part, especially since you have 4 of them. And then to do down, forward, to make sure that I kind of got a swoop, I had the second bit there. So it's just putting all the little frames in to make sure that you're getting the poses that you want at those parts. Then it's smoothing it. So this is just smooth, like so that it's connecting all the different ones. But that looks mechanical, not fluid. Once that's blended though, I'll just go through it and add extra motion. So it's a lot of follow through and squishy, like, because a machine, the reason that people say it looks mechanical is because it's moving A to B and then stopping. The best way to make something look fluid is if it's going to go like to the right, maybe back it, like pull it to the left to kind of do a swing into it, and a swing out. So like here, before she moves, you can actually see that I added motion to the head so that the head follows through into the shot. And then here, like before her head here just goes down right away. Here her head goes up and then down. And then once it gets to the top of the motion here too, there's a little bit of a motion where it goes up and then back down again, because organic or anything that's living shouldn't be A to B. It should be going past B and then back. So there's just, it's the little nuances of adding any motion that goes from one point to another. You're probably going to have to add something to it so that all bones aren't moving together. But and probably the most important thing is all the other stuff in the body that just hides it. One of the reasons the head here still looks stiff is because the hair isn't moving with it. The tail's not moving. The ears aren't moving, I think. No, the ears are locked too. You add all that in, and then it just looks smooth because all the other stuff. So, if you want to make something fluid, really ensure that your hair and stuff looks right. That does a lot. Or if there's, add a slight breeze. Keep things moving. But again, it's just hard to say how do you make something fluid without being able to like look at that situation. But the main thing is just add little bits of motion to just around the edges, I guess you could say. I really, because like the way I do it is I don't even know how I do it sometimes. I'm just that looks mechanical-ish, so I'll just add stuff to it. Sometimes I don't know what I'm adding. I just keep throwing stuff at it until it looks better, and after a while you just get a better eye for it. I feel like this city's going to be really hard to make look right, because I don't even need the majority of this either. Just delete the wrong thing. I try not to click too many links from non-mods if I can help it, so. Let's see. Might be opening good. So what do you got here? Oh, I can see what you're doing here. Just keeps going. But a lot of it is like, you can see there is, it feels mechanical because it's the heads are going from like A to B, and actually a lot of it is just the head going A to B. That's why I like doing the keyframes like you saw, because you could put the whole body into a motion without like, because it's hard if you're trying to just animate from one position to another. Like say that when somebody goes to look down, it's like, what part, think about like if you were to look at something that's on the ground, how would you move? Would you just move your head straight down? No, you're probably going to lean over a bit, and you're probably going to have your arms like pull forward, maybe in. It's, think about how you would move or how they would move to do it. So like a pony, if they're going to look down at something, they're probably going to, their whole body's probably going to shift back a little bit, and they're probably going to get down a little bit, just like a person would. And so that's why I usually keyframe those two movements, and then so that because if you just try to like literally motion from one to the other, which is how I used to do it, it's not gonna. It's gonna be a mess, and it's probably gonna be sliding or something. No, yeah, and it's but a lot of the bases that I start with for animating look like that, because that's where you start from. It's always going to look sloppy. I mean, the example that I showed before with Trixie was more detailed because it was so much movement that I put a lot of extra keyframes in there. But there's some keyframes that I go to do that are literally just like for a whole 5 or 6 seconds or something. There's only like 3 frames or 3 actual frames that I go as a base to work from. So it just kind of depends, but it's gonna be like you have when you have a hoof go up, like I can use rainbow here. So like say that you have a bit where you're just having the hoof come up, so like let's say like this, so just bam. If you want to try to make it like as realistic or as good as you want, or it is not about fluid but also making it like balancing of weight, like if I were to have a leg go up here, you're technically putting the pony off balance. Because now they're distributing their weight different. So how I would normally do this is that I would shift the weight. So like root. There we go. So I'm just gonna shift the body a little bit to make it more sense. So it's gonna shift it to that leg and tilt into it. Kind of like. Actually, I have to lock the back legs. Because I don't use a rig, I have to lock things. So, like this a little bit. Pelvis there. And so I'm only doing it the one. So if you, when you have the selection like this, if you hold shift, it'll allow you to view wherever your mouse is. So I just use it to be able to see, is everything matching up. So like here, probably need to have her go down a little bit more. And the leg's gonna be bent a little bit, so we're gonna pull that back like that. We're going to pull the shoulder out a little bit so it's just not straight coming up. Like that. That's it. Oh, legs off a little bit here. I'm actually going to turn the head down a little bit just as a base. Okay, where's my, there it is. Let me move this so that it's on a bookmark. Alright, so I just have just a simple little thing. The back leg is locked like this, so it's normally I try to do something. Actually, I can kind of show you what I would do with that. So this is really all I keyframe for this. Like this is, I just work from this. Let me hide the wings here. Oh, they are hidden. I can just be hidden things. There you go. Just want to work with the bones that I can see and nothing more. There we go. So I'm just going to blend this. It's going to be pretty short because it's just a hand going up or a hoof. Alright. Now I did notice with that the head goes down, but the body, the head should adjust. So I'm going to actually do that. I'm just going to add a bit to have the neck pulled back for that bit. Okay, now let's see how that looks. Alright, I'm just falling off the end a little bit more so it kind of blends into it. Okay, so I mean, that's all that right now is just A to B. There's nothing special about it than just going from one point to the other. To make it fluid, we need to, it's like take her, let's take her body for instance. She's probably, when redistributing her weight like that, is probably going to pull back a little bit first. So we're just going to go and pick a spot in there. Right there works. And I am going to just pull the back a little bit, trim it right down. Maybe a bit much. Probably about the same. Okay. Now we're just going to make it work in this position. So she was going down a little bit, so this leg would bend just a teeny bit. Oh, I forgot the front leg too. Okay, so just a little extra body motion. But now, should I break something there? I did. I don't think that actually bent enough. Oh, I did. Well, like, what's something else that's stiff on her? Well, her head isn't really moving anywhere. It's just kind of tilting to the side. So we're going to have it lag behind a little bit. So the very front of this animation, I'm going to grab the head and just keep pull it up a little bit. And then it's going to go bounce down a little. I'm going to include the neck. Oh no, I'm just going to do the head for now. I'm going to play with values to try to get something that works. Okay, so it hits the bottom. The head comes up real quick though, so we're going to have it, maybe not that much, just bounce up a little bit. See if this will work. We're just going to bring the neck down and the head back up, like it's countering the movements. Nah, it's not going to work. That kind of, just with the neck motion, it kind of works as well. I'm just throwing stuff out there and see what sticks. The other thing too is if there's a change like that, like a bit, blinking actually does an amazing amount to add extra. It's not adding to the fluidity of the motion, but it is adding to the. It does make things look better or like more realistic, because it's like a change in focus. If your eyes are changing from one point to another, you should have them blink, or if the heads are moving a lot. In this case, it's kind of the head going down. So we're just gonna have her blink. I had a moment there, trying to remember what I was doing. And I don't want to like right here, it times it too much with the motion, like down, down, then up, I want to offset it from the motion a little bit. Okay. Another little trick with the eyes is to have the eyes, the pupil goes with the eyes. So when this is going down, have the pupil go down with it. Too much. The other thing to do is to add in how the hoof goes up. So the hoof right now goes A to B. I don't want A to B. Probably from here to here, it's going to curl up first. So we're going to do that. And these usually lag behind the most. And just the same how the other ones worked, once it gets to the top of this motion, we probably want to have it kind of keep going a little bit. These are going to have still lag a little bit more. Then we're going to add a little tail motion, so when she goes to move, we'll just have the tail go down and back up again. And then it's going to bounce at the top. Not quite that much though. Just extra little things to add. I'm going to take the head here, and when she gets to the bottom of her arc, I'm going to actually have her turn her head a little bit to the side. Oh no, that's too much, I think. So it's pretty basic, but you're just adding extra motion, so when she goes forward, you could take the more things you have moved, the better. So like you could take the wing here and have it pull up a little bit. Or have it and pull it in tight because of whatever reason. Just anything to keep motion. I mean, that's really, I mean, you could keep adding and adding and adding and adding. You just kind of had to find a point where you say, yeah, good enough. So I don't, so I don't know if that helps, but this is recorded, so I'll actually try to upload this one so you can kind of so you can go back and watch it again if you want. But just for adding for how to add the motion. So well, the hand did go A to B. I want to show that it actually like it's like when you put your arm from your side up forward, you're probably going to lift it and like forward and bring it in. That's kind of what this is to do too. Well, I guess I just answered your question on that. So yeah, this is uploaded. In the below the stream, there's a link to my second YouTube channel that has all the streams I do are recorded on there, so you can go back for like the last 2.5 years. Well, then maybe not quite that far. I think the last 2 years. I think I started recording about 6 months in, or putting on YouTube. But it's got hundreds of hours of streams. No, I haven't uploaded it. I forgot to upload it. And also, the one before last week's doesn't work because the audio had its copyright issue. So I have to either go and fix it or I have to do something with it. It's just going to be a mess to fix, and I don't really feel like doing it. So yeah. I mean, if you want as well, I do have Dropbox over here. I'll put it in this one. Here, you can have the file. So there, you can reference it, and if you lose the link, type that in. If you can figure out all that stuff later, the text. I think only that numbers will matters. So you can get that from the stream too. So, because I put it, I have my Dropbox set up where shared is stuff that I share with people that, but I don't. If I delete the link, it's potentially because they no longer need it. Public shared, anything in that folder, I will never change unless I have to. So that shouldn't change. The link should exist for as long as I have Dropbox. That's why I have that separated. So, oops, did not want to hit BattleNet. Whatever. Close it. I want to play much. Oh, I guess it's gonna update too. Wonderful. How about no? I don't know if you said New Year's or not, so thank you, I guess. Make sure that whole thing, spiel I was doing, I didn't miss something. Okay, I don't think I missed anything. Okay. Where'd you get your new PC background from? I can't even remember. I saved that the background a long time ago because it kind of had an Australia feel to it, and I've just had it in my documents for a while. I only put it on here now because I kind of but because when I reloaded my computer, I didn't have the other wallpaper, so I just been lazy about stuff. I haven't really been on my PC as much. Yay. Alright, can I undo everything I just did? I think I can. So I just want to put her back in her base position. I can. Ooh, didn't want to do that. I forgot that GeForce has that thing set up now too. Alright, so we have Rainbow to sit on a rock. Catching up on stuff. Oh, who's your favorite hero? Pharah. I tend to play Pharah the most. Well, we play a lot of mystery hero and stuff, so while I like playing Pharah, I don't always get to play her. But that's the class I end up being best on. Pharah and Junkrat if I need to know that, but I like playing Mercy and healers as well. But Mercy tends to be who I like to go for heals. No, I fucking hate Mei. Shut up. Mei should burn. The only time I've ever played Mei is because her game for the event, the snowball one, was actually quite fun. It was an easy way to get your arcade wins in for the week because it was just shorter. Now, I usually play Pharah because I am not the most accurate person. I used to be pretty good with sniping stuff, but I just don't have the coordination, I guess, anymore. So I tend to instead prefer characters that have explosives, and so I like Pharah because it is I like the style of play, and I think it fits, or it's just fun. So. Okay, so I don't want to just have the same rocks over and over again. These lights are going to be broken, but that's fine. I do need to figure out how I want to do my lighting, and it has to balance with the lighting from this shot. Means that the rim has to come from, or the main light has to come from this side, or at least from the front-ish. Kind of. I just have to have a larger rim on this side anyway. I wish lights would default to having the shadows turned off. I used to think that like Mei was funny and be like, ah, amazing, ah, and then like you have to play against her, and then you realize that she should just burn in hell. But she'd probably freeze it over because she's an asshole. I really don't like May. I'm just going to destroy, delete most of these buildings, and then just kind of hand build it, because it's going to be difficult to get where is this sky card stuff? It's going to be difficult to get this kind of set up. Because it's all the other ones have been from a distance, so I can just throw crap everywhere. This, I can't exactly do that. If I use a blue haze here, I'm going to have to use it everywhere, but I kind of need to figure out what I'm doing here first. So I think I almost prefer to use the other Fallout buildings. They have higher detail. Yeah, these buildings are from Fallout, but they have way more detail to them. I've went and used them quite a bit for stuff. I can't have these buildings going too tall, because if they go too tall, it'll be obvious.
I'm not sick anymore.
They didn't say anything.
I know, last time you were like, get out!
They're like, get out of here, we don't want to get sick.
Ah!
He's just nuzzles.
He nuzzles your face off with his teeth.
But he's done so much nuzzling that they've gotten rounded.
Hi, peoples.
Don't hit me in the eye.
Where's his mustache?
Hey, the tape stopped working,
No!
so I put it on my thing over there.
Mr. Nuzzles needs an actual frickin' thing sewed on.
Maybe we should beat up John and steal his.
What did Squad?
It works.
Are we going to be able to make it tomorrow? We're planning on it. I still have a cough. I'm not going to be contagious.
I'm not continue.
I got most of my voice back except for when you make me laugh. And I don't have it.
Yep, you are totally weird.
We have a game thingy tomorrow. Gizmo's wondering if we're going, so. Yay! Wow. Wow, chicka, wow, wow. Wow, wow. Aww.
Nope.
I'm Denise.
She is. Listen to her on that.
Yay.
She's the expert on who she is.
Irony says Argo be nice.
Can't do that.
Warhorse, how did you know I was playing Catan? Well, I will maybe be playing Catan tomorrow, but...
Because...
I played
anytime we
Seafarers.
do it, Catan. Well, yeah,
What?
but that's... Because every time we're there, somebody's playing Catan.
Yeah. Michael, shut up.
Actually,
Good
this might
job,
work better.
Nuzzles.
I think I'm gonna choose brighter ground because rainbow lights up brighter too, so it can be better or easier to match the color with. Okay, so we need a ground. This is just gonna be a base. I'm gonna throw a bunch of crap around it, but this is just so I have a base to work with for what is what to follow.
Aww. Shadow says that your streams are nice and relaxing after a hard and stressful day.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I'm not annoying.
You're so annoying.
I have my moments, yes. But...
I do have my own dolphin. She's in the other room. Is that the weird thingy that you can like make its own bump map or something?
This thing?
Yeah.
No, it's just like it's a ground that I can basically shape however I want. So
That's pretty sweet.
I just like to use it for, or I've been using it lately for when I need to make kind of a ground that's shaped how I need it. that's storing this business. Okay. So in this case, I need something to work as a base because I want to have more than just the one concrete model everywhere. So I need something to have as a base so that if there's not anything there, what would be considered to be the general ground. So I just chose something that looks concrete-ish.
Bouncy balls. That'll work. Whee.
Too far up, please.
Argo's been playing Final Fantasy 13.
Yes. Until I get the stream thing figured out, I've been not playing too much of that. I've been playing Final Fantasy 15. Jay borrowed it to me.
Blend.
Sure. So then you don't have to worry about me getting too far into the game or something. So.
You're gonna be streaming the other game?
Because Surya wants me to kind of do that.
What was the other one called again?
Last of Us.
Is that a long game?
No, Jay finished the game, and so that's why I was just like, hey dude, can I like borrow it? He's like, sure. So I was,
Oh, 15?
yeah, so that's why I've been playing that. So I'm not like super far in Last of Us or anything. But to get the stream thing to work, I need an account. But 2 of my 3 emails have already been used
For some
by
reason.
somebody else on the PlayStation Network. Somehow, one of them's Spanish. However that works. And so I am kind of stuck to where if I want to do it, I have to use like some other random account that I would rather not do. And so I'm going to try contacting PlayStation Network to see if I can like be like, dude, that's my email. But I have a feeling that in the end it's going to come down to where they're going to be like, well, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to just make a new one.
Probably.
So, which fucking sucks. What do you do? So...
Michael says you were in a video that came out today?
Yes. Jay, the one that Jay had made during the New Year's thing.
Oh, sweet!
That's pretty did the
I
right
have
thing.
no idea what happened, so... All I saw was a bunch of random pictures. And Aaron sending me a text message saying, "You bitch, where's Jordy?"
No, that was just the Aaron being Aaron.
It was really funny though. All of a sudden, bling! You bitch, where's Jordy? It's like, oh my god, that's so funny. I cracked up. Sorry you missed Jordy. He was at his grandparents' house. You walked off the balcony?
I stole stuff.
You stole stuff?
Oh,
From where?
Jay's apartment.
Oh, okay.
Um,
As long as you gave it back.
No, a lot of that video was improv. Like, Jay was like, I'm gonna do something, and then I need you to just like throw your arms up or do something. And so he's like, the fan's over. And so I just like I just threw the remote, got up and walked out the door. Like it was so spur of the moment. As he's recording, I had no idea what I was gonna do. So yeah, we just goofed, and then like the other bit was, we just decided since I'd left out the balcony here that I would leave out the balcony, or come in through the balcony at his apartment. So,
hopefully it wasn't too cold that day.
It was nippy, but it's not a worry because whatever.
Minnesota.
Well, who cares? I'll just come inside and then I'm good.
Whoa, inside! That game was creepy. Apparently they're linking the video now. I'm gonna have to watch that.
Oh, actually, the original plan we were thinking about doing it where I would, and then trying to figure out how to do an edit to make that work. But then we decided that it would have just been way too much work. So we're just not worth it. So we decided to skip on that. But yeah, there was an original plan for me to, or to follow it up by jumping off the balcony or something.
Well, I'm glad you guys had fun. We started getting the flu, so we were watching movies and trying not to get sicker.
Oh, it doesn't work so well.
Yay, flu! God damn it. A dummy to throw off. And that makes me think of the duct tape suit that everybody calls the dead body. Oh god. Maybe I'm after I'm done using the duct tape suit dead body thingy. And I don't know. You guys can have fun with it. Then again, I need to use all the fluff out of it, so... Was wondering where you got that ground from.
I can't even remember. I swear it's probably from SFM Lab, because that tends to be where I get the stuff that I can't remember from. But I mean, just look at it. You can just make random uneven ground so easy. It's great.
So is this town like supposed to be swallowed or something?
It basically was like thrown into a giant, enormous sinkhole.
Lovely.
That is a interesting looking road. Icy road. That's not just an icy road, that is a road made of ice.
Michael says you're just recreating Detroit.
You caught me.
I've never been to Detroit, so I don't know.
Think of the worst place you could possibly live.
Have you been there?
No.
Oh. me how to use it.
Because Detroit.
Oh, that big orca that killed the trainer or whatever died today.
The orca?
Yeah, from Blackfish? Tillicum or something? Nuzzles can live forever.
Nuzzles is immortal.
Cause you show adorbs.
Yes. That's what gives you immortality. High levels of adorb.
Yep. It's the secret. You need to add a vomit swamp. That's disgusting, dude.
There's also, well, that means 2 out of 3 of these are meth houses.
I think the one in the middle is for sure.
This one of those I already have. No. I'm good then.
It's nuzzles, not nudges.
Close enough.
He's having fun.
What are you doing to that shark?
He's having fun and his tail's all wiggly.
I was thinking something else, but okay. I don't know if I want to save that poor shark or...
Get your mind out of the gutter.
I want to get the shark out of the gutter.
Now he's got the shark flu.
There's a shark. What is the shark flu?
Where he sounds all raspy. He's just so cute and soft.
My first SFM pony animation was just two ponies falling. Like, there was, in a still shot, and there was nothing to it. Our first stuff is always like that. Whatever, to just learn what you're doing.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Kyle's here. Kyle, why are you in the computer and not actually here?
He called you Nessie. You're elusive and big. He said it.
You spelled it wrong. You're eating pizza without us? Well, we had pizza before you, so... Besides, you're missing out on all the, Nuzzles fun. Ho ho! Heh heh. Yeah, Kyle must be a figment of our imagination because he's not here. What? He went and got pizza with a friend, but But what about us?
Apparently, we're not pizza friends.
No, we're only Chinese food friends.
We're Chinese food friends.
I don't care. I like Chinese food. Oh, somebody's got a big paragraph for you.
No. I think it'd be a good idea to try and follow your stream and replicate this through moving your shift forward. Actually, replication is the way I learned a lot of stuff. A lot of the first stuff I did was replication. I took a while before I started doing my own stuff. So I mean, if it helps, do it. Replication is. I saw a panel sometime where somebody was talking about getting started on stuff, and they're like, don't replicate. Replication is bad. It's like you're just stealing other people's work. I'm like, when you're learning, it's amazing. Steal other people's work. Do it.
That could be taken wrong, but...
Yeah, there's a lot of things it could be, but I'm going to say it, so shut
Me.
up.
Kyle is the guy who goes by Sonderby, or the muscle training man that shows up here sometimes. I like that. Kyle, the type of guy who shares pizza in a stream. At least my dirty mind is back. Ugh. I gotta go get water and stuff.
Did you unlock the door?
It is unlocked.
Okay.
And cat stole my spot again.
Well, I have two other siblings too. This is just the one. Actually, I have an older sister that's 6 years older than me. Has 3 kids, and they all are. We asked them, but they can't. She works where I used to work, and I was there at one point. And one of the ladies I worked with at the time, she asked my sister's kid, "Who's your favorite uncle?" And she says me. I'm like, "Why am I your favorite uncle?" She just says ponies. That was her reason. Like, okay.
Mom, that lasts forever.
That foreground light is still really bright on her. Well, I wonder if this will work. How many concrete models do I have to work with? 4. The main one is this one, though. also required that I play with the... I'm very careful with the lights. But this should work. No, that's just doing it. Aha. Because color, when added to a model, will only multiply the light that hits it. So if you have a very bright model in a shot, Ponies trying to decrease their brightness doesn't work so well, because decreasing their brightness usually ends up with eyes that are too bright or too dark. So instead, I'm just taking the materials that are there and making them triple the brightness with light that hits it, so then I can decrease the brightness of what is hitting them, therefore balancing it out better with rainbow. Works out well with here because it's concrete, so it's not exactly something I have to worry too much about. But it does make it hard to balance out with other stuff. But here I don't think I'm going to have to worry about it too much. But now, like, her ambient light. Oh. That's fine, I'll keep it how it is. Because I need to make sure that the light at her legs is still low. Is shadowed? Yes, it is. Highlight's fine. The foreground. Oh. One of these. Oh, I just added it, but then I didn't actually multiply the color. Did I do it? Did I even put the 3 on some of these? There we go. That's better. Do have to add some ambient. It's kind of light though. A little something, I mean, just to help fill in the gaps. Like I brought up before, you can't have pure black, or it's just gonna be, won't look right. Do you ever test models for others? I have done it on occasion. But it's normally not like random people send me stuff. It's more of people that I've been friends with for a while that do modeling stuff. If they ask me to, I normally do. But I normally don't do stuff like that randomly. Otherwise, it'd be inundated. There's a lot of things that I don't do because not because that I don't want to do them, but because I always have the mentality that if you do something, if you help somebody out on one thing, a random person out with something on one thing, you should be willing to help everybody that's willing to, or you're able to, and so that gets difficult when people are like, "Well, can you do one-on-one help thing?" I'm like, yeah, but if I did that, then anybody else that got wind of it would be like, well, I need one-on-one help. Well, I can't help you. Well, then why did you help them? And so that's the point of the stream, is so that I can try to do the help everybody. But but if I can say that, you know, well, I know that person, well, that's different. But if it's, I'm just a little more careful. Same thing with adding people on friends lists and stuff. I'd rather not nip the problem in the bud before it becomes a problem. So I'm very limited on certain things because of that. I need more buildings. I think I should be able to be okay with the buildings that are here. And then just use them repeatedly. Just I have to turn them and put them in different situations so that it doesn't look like the same thing over and over and over again. I like the added shadows. I don't like how dark they are. If anything, I'll make that dark. Then I'll copy it fixed it. Turn off shadows. No. Shadows are nice, but I don't think they'll work. I think what I'm going to need to do is add extra lights. No, I'm not going to worry about it right now. I kind of like rim lights on some of these buildings. So like that for now. Because I just feel like it needs shadows on. It just feels so me. I wonder if I do it like that and then take this light. Gets rid of some of the harsh other bits that I like. The reason this, like, I'm not feeling is this not working is because without this, it adds a lot of extra light within the buildings, which gives it more lighting across. But then it's at the same time this kind of being a double-edged sword, and I'm not liking it for that reason. I think if I add more detail throughout here, I might make it work. Because that's coming here, so there's no way I'm going to be able to get that building to be lit. It's right there. But I can add another light on top of it or something to make it work. So this is going to be... There's kind of a robo there already. But I think it's technically a stallion, but... Alright, I think I have enough buildings that I can start bringing in these ones again. The only worry I had for the other ones was that the texture from these was so low that it would have been like a sore thumb. But now I have all the models that are already up front, so the rest of it is just filling the background. have to add some more lights back there to get that to fill in. I forgot I do need to have the sun coming up, kind of. Because she's gonna be sitting here looking this way, and the sun is rising from this direction. So I have to have it kind of coming from over here, but technically you can't actually see the horizon from the angle she's at. So that means I gotta fill enough buildings here to make this work. This needs to be brought down a bit. I don't want it to be that bright, just enough to have a light, like a small glow come from that area. Well, technically, volumetric light and God rays have a lot in common. The God ray is just a type of volumetric light, but even volumetric light itself, I believe, is a not even a real term. I think it's just something that they made up. Alright, see Shadow. I have to be very careful how I light with this, because if I go too much, it's going to kind of get in the way of this shot. where I don't want to actually have much of the ground lit. I can go and light some, but also if I'm lighting some of the ground there, you'd assume that some of the buildings here would be lit as well, and they're not. So, but it could be that the light's hitting that spot more than others too, so. So I'm just trying to make it pretty slight. So like here, actually that works out really well. The beams are kind of coming across and hitting it, so it makes it look like it's hitting the top of the building, but not anything else. But here it doesn't work with the rocks now. It feels like it's too much. I feel like it needs to hit some of the rocks, just not many. Here's an idea. Well, it already is Uber. Well, that comes in handy. Oh, it is processing. It just doesn't feel like it was processing for some reason. This might be what does it. I just needed shadows. Too bright over here. Still doesn't look like it works. Oh, the difference between having Uber checked and not control. To compare an Uber light and a non-Uber light, I don't even need it to be visible. So, I'm gonna make a new light. And we are going to enable its frustum, so then I can actually see what's going on with this light. Well, I should be able to. There we go. So what this white box is saying is there's the minimum, so where to start lighting, where to end lighting, and within what box we're lighting. How the lights work like this is that about 2/3 of these controls are deactivated because they're a normal light and they're just it figures out a lot of that stuff for you. The problem with the light like this is that how it lights is weird. So let's load up a pony. We will load up Twilight. So we have a Twilight. Now, if I put Twilight in front of the light, it does not do anything. Put Twilight in the light, and now she's getting hit. So you can see it's within the box. But the light doesn't cut off at this point. It's basically stating that if the model is interacting with this box in any way, the entire model gets lit with it. So if I get closer, it'll suddenly cut on even here because it's something with the model is interacting with that box. So the whole thing gets lit. And the same thing if I start going outside this range. Well, the edge fades because it actually has a texture, a fake texture that looks like a flashlight. So that will fade to the side, but it technically does work the same. That's why, like, even here, you can see it still fades, but now it's fading over here because it's the same line. So it gets difficult if you're trying to light certain things because it's like, I don't want it to light this, but I do want it to light that. Or I want to light part of the model but not the rest of it, but it doesn't matter. It says for you and you're going to get the whole thing. And it's the same thing if you go farther away. It'll suddenly turn off the light. So what Uber lights do is they give you the full control of the light, but in doing so it makes the light more complicated to use. And if I turn on Uber with this, you'll see what I mean just by the visual light frustum. So as soon as you hit Uber, bam! Now I have a lot more things coming out of this thing. So the white box is still useful. There are times where sometimes you can play with the min and max to get it so that it'll actually fully light one model and not another, which can come in handy, and I've used that quite often for trying to light a pony model but not the stuff within it. So but now the purple light is a better representation of what the actual light is doing, not just what not just like where it has an active zone, I guess you could say. So if I go and take this light and I'm just gonna put it way big box, so I have a bigger to work with, and I'm gonna take my Twilight, and now you can still see, oh well, even though I'm in that box now, I can't be, or I'm having visual, she's fading. What this is doing is you have your blue and your red circles. So where's my lighting? Okay, and so while horizontal and vertical are still the the area that the model would be in, this now is controlled by width and height. So the inner blue circle both move together with this, so you can increase the width of the light. And here, let me turn on volumetric so it'll be a little easier to see that. So I made it a little thinner so it's a little easier to see. So you can see that it's, if I increase the width and the height, then I can change it. But even if I increase the width, if it goes outside the white margin, it will stop. I will have to then play with those margins to make it fit. So, and then same thing here, height. Yes, I already have the room booked. And all right, so what the fade does here then, where'd it go? Edge is, it'll change the outer bit, so you can see it's changing how just part of the circle's width. And so if I change those to far out, it means that from this point to this point, and let me bring those into smaller values so they're within the circle or within the square. These work really small. If it gets too small, I recommend just going in here and remapping these to 1/10. I do that a lot. And now they're easier to work with. So it's just making it so that you have smoother edges. If you bring it down to very little edge width, you're going to have a much sharper edge. But if you have a much higher edge, you're going to have it fade more. So, let's that again. Sorry. The blue is your cut off, so that's where the light's going to get cut off, and that's literally, this is where you can actually give yourself a fade, or a better fade for where light would cut off. So the first blue circle is where it starts to fade off, and the last blue circle is where it's completely cut off, and you can change that with your far edge. So if you bring it into very, very close, you can have a light that just goes and starts at a certain line. Actually, if you bring it all the way down, you can have a literal flat line of light that hits the model and stops. And that's literally not lighting anything else. And then the same thing goes with up close, where this is your cut on, and just the same thing, your near edge is just your fade range. Really, that's the main controls. I think that's really about all that you gain control of, but that is super useful. But for being able to light like a part of a face or a part of a main, and then you just make a really sharp cutoff so that it doesn't go any further. A little harder animating with it, but for pictures, and when you don't have to worry about that stuff, it's super useful. So yeah, that's what Uber lights do. But a lot of things you run into though is if you don't make an Uber light or a light in Uber light right from the get-go, you might run into this, where say I have a light like this and I am lighting something super far away, so I'm remapping my values and so that I go going further away. So I'm doing like something like this, where I have this big light that's hitting a lot of different things, but then for some reason you need to change this to an Uber light. So if you go and change this, you're going to probably complain and go, what happened to my light? It started using some of those other values. So if you go and look at your light frustrum, you're going to see that while your other one's going far, suddenly your cutoff is still up here. So you'll also have to go to get it to go far enough, probably remap your cutoff to try to get that to go into the range of hitting stuff. So that's just when I started using Uber lights, I got so confused because I'm like, why did that break? Why is this not working? And that's why. You just have to bring your cutoff into range. And if you ever get confused as to what your light is doing, that's what that light frustrum is for, and that is super useful for being able to see what your light is doing and for positioning or whatnot. So, or even find your light. For BronyCon, I booked my room within the first week of it becoming available for booking. So yes, I have a room booked. I just haven't figured out who's in it or anything yet. I know that Kyle's planning on potentially going and he's looking for people too. So I'm not sure. As of right now, there's 3 in my room, and I know there's a bunch of people that want to get the other spot. So we haven't made any final decisions on that yet. Does that make sense from here to here? She's lighter in this shot than this shot. No? She's really similar. The ground isn't as lit. Maybe. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those things that I'm going to have to like render out and see. But I still feel like the background needs some more. Above person. Apparently. So just gonna care about making more bumps in the distance. So like that one, that actually filled that gap perfect. So I just need to add something over here. What I should probably do is add another volumetric light. It goes further back. And I don't care about actually lighting anything specific. I just care about creating a backlight just a little bit so that you can actually pull out some of the actual details of some of this other stuff in there that's back there. So now you can actually see that there's a building that was there. And I just have to create another one just to break it up so that one part of it is not fully lit. There's the rest of the building. With Jay, the reason that with Jay we had a fifth in the room is because Jay was like, I don't know if I want to go to BronyCon. I'm like, well, why not? He's like, well, finding a room and all that stuff. I'm like, just sleep on our floor. He's like, okay. So it was more of a last minute, didn't have a way of getting him to go. It was not really the preferred choice in any way. And actually, we almost had a sixth in our room because Jake Wyman decided last minute, I think, to go, and we just kind of... But he ended up finding a different room. But we almost had another one just because it was like... Well, if that's the only choice we have, it's the only choice we have. I'm just going to use this light at random places. This is just a way to supplement and create artificial lighting, I guess. Here. No, I think I need to get one of these buildings in the back. Just because it feels so... what are these right now? They're not shadow good. It feels so dark back here. Where am I looking? Here. There we go. It's not the building I thought it was. Oh, sorry. If the song you're talking about is this one, it is John Dreamer Becoming a Legend. I actually remember early to switch this back to random, so get a little bit different music. So the lighting I'm basically doing now is like artificial rim in a way. Because without it all the buildings seem to fade into one giant mass, but I don't want that. I want to have some buildings kind of stand out a bit compared to others. Just so that it gives it depth. So that's what I do. Like here now, it has a bit more of a feeling of depth to it. I might want to add a couple little random orange bits to the top there. And the other one is going to be something over here. I want to add orange to that one actually. I feel like there should be a little something here to separate this. I thought it didn't need it, but now I'm thinking it does. Nothing much, just enough to pull it out. And then I was going to add a little orange to that bit. Here's one of those situations where min comes in handy. I want to hit the building behind it, but not the one in front of it. So I just used a bit of min to make it so it went past that building. And then I was able to just hit the one after it. Just do such subtle amounts there that it's hard to get it figured out. I feel like if I'm doing that, I have to put very, very little because otherwise it stands out too much. No, it's this one. The same building. least one more building. There's probably something over here. Is this house visible? Yes. This house visible. Kind of. Ooh. Oh, that would work. If I just throw something in there, that would make it a good reflective point. They're kind of like using this building top, like right here. What is it? Right there. Alright. To this wall. Okay. I think I might still have to play with that to add more strong lights in there or something. I do need to find a green book. Like a journal of source, but it has to be pretty detailed, so I gotta get up close to it. Let's see if she says anything about it. Because I'm pretty sure that they go to detail with the book, and it's like if there's details about it, I probably want to try to match it as close as possible. But that scene has some super big spoilers, so I'm going to stop on it. And I'm not going to show it. I like, hey, what's up? I got a huge Octavia plush today. That's great. Well, that's cool. Is it like the one that you can find at Target, or is it some other one? Small book with green binding. It's jaded surfaces blended with the gray dust she laid each other before her. So it does say book. Okay, so it's just got to be a book of any sort. That's not detailed enough. This is one of the more detailed books that are out there. I just think that yeah, that is an actual model on the front. So I probably don't want to use that. Because I always kind of imagined it a little like this, just without the giant freaking lock. Well, this is only user mod. Expand. Yeah, DRS is going to be horrible quality. See, those can work. It's a little thick. There we go. That's better. But I was kind of hoping for something that had, like, fucking a big book for scientists. Yeah, this is the Black Mesa ones. Please use this book to record office hours. I thought that said fecal. Okay. The big yellow book of useful scientific words and phrases. But because well, there's going to be one shot where it's going to be basically up real close to the book. So the more detail it has, the better. But it can't be super thick. It's one of those that I need a model that doesn't exist and will never exist because it's impossible to find exactly what I'm thinking of. Casters. Spells that you can cook with. Never lose your keys again. A dozen spells to charm your friends. This sounds like a Starlight Glimmer book. Let's see, it's the book. Good news, everyone! That's not a book. That is a building. Oh, well, that's too thick. It's too many book. That's fancy. Okay, so I think the best bet is going to be... Like, see, this one would work great if it wasn't for the lock. It looks like the light all acts the same on it. So I'm thinking I can't... Or I don't think it's separate textures. Yeah, they're not. And I have a feeling that that book does not have any alpha anything on it. No, but I can't set the other bits to remove, so that's not going to work. I just like that one because it had depth to it. No, you can override the lock, kind of. If I were, like, say... I could go and select this part of the texture and alpha it out. So technically removing it. But by doing that, usually you cause other problems with the model. So I don't know if it would quite work how I'd want it to. I'm not sure. So I've done it before, and I can kind of I can try it. I have a couple of minutes. I don't want to. Where's the diary prop on the farm? What are you thinking? I think I ended up doing it where I would save as PNG. Oh, I won't do it for this. So it's got to be all the lock bits. Is it SFM's going to be in its thing? Yep, SFM crashed. Well, maybe not. I'll have to worry about that later. Found the book. Well, I was thinking about it, but then you had to show me a picture of May, and no. Because May. Oh. You can see. It's a book. It's a book. Maybe. The only thing is, I don't know how well it works closed, but the nice thing is I could kind of play with the pages a bit. Seems a bit thick, but I'm thinking I can also then jam it closed more to see. Did they just do Lorem Ipsum? Yep. Lorem Ipsum. Because why not? That's what every page is. Yep. Okay, what that means is that we're done today, because the time's up anyway. It's 10 o'clock. Hello, Kyle, we're done. Keep looking at my coffee cup like I have hopes that some magic coffee will just pop up in there. Alright, so, done for today. I will be, yeah, it's Peace Man. I'll be back streaming on Tuesday, I think. Yeah, there's no other plans. So, yeah, Lorem Ipsum's everywhere. And, well, I did website stuff, and Lorem Ipsum was super useful for when I was working on designing website structures for figuring out how text would look. So I used Lorem Ipsum a lot. So it's handy. It's better than just typing random, like, this is text, this is word text, because that doesn't look like normal text. So, anyways, so yeah, I'll be back streaming Tuesday. I don't know how much work I'm getting on this done over the weekend. I'm assuming none. And I will probably work on it more than on Monday. So, or Tuesday, whatever. Anyways, so I will see you guys later. I still haven't set up Kitty. So here, meow. It's a big eyeball cat. So, alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. Have a good weekend.